and he says I'm so Caribbean.
Hey lovely mysteries and butterflies and Essence, it's nice to meet you. Comment your name so I know you too. I like meeting people. If you don't know me, because you shouldn't yet, at this moment, I review, don't typically react. Not only is it copyright, a pain in the bum, but I'm a yapper and I embarrassingly yap too much if I'm comfortable, and I love writing and I love music. And what is Taylor Swift incredible at? Admittedly, I haven't listened to Taylor in a while. I loved her as a child, like, we share a name. Excuse me. That was enough for me. I listened to the popular joints, You Belong With Me, Love Story, Blank Space. My favorites were Style, Our Song. My mom's favorite was Crazier, and that song was a bop. But I'm pretty sure she even got me this purple perfume or something, I think. Fully Start the Checklist. I don't know the Taylor lore. I don't know who these songs are about. I don't know what she was going through in life. I don't know who produced these records. I only know my thoughts. Feel free to correct me, but don't be mean to me. I'm a crybaby and I will cry. With her owning her music, I know there's drama with Scooter Braun, but I don't know what that fully is. But I know that Taylor's versions were a result out of that. So to be respectful, I'm just going to start with the Taylor's version of things. If you'll let me know, I would love that. Allergies. Okay, thanks for listening to me up. Let's go. There are hopefully going to be timestamps in the description, if I can figure that out. 1. State of Grace. From the beginning, I wasn't expecting the production to start that way. It was very out there, in your face. I thought the song would be somewhat slower and even like sad. I love the production. It reminds me of being a preteen / teenager in the 2010s. It gives the vibe of like Paper Towns and the music that Willamette Stone made, and If I Stay. It feels romantic and nostalgic. At the same time, it feels like how high school felt for me. I like her pronunciation of certain words, random, but I did. I wish the chorus was longer. Like, I wish there was more of an echo in the background, because I love the chorus truly. And there was this bit in the second verse where the cadence shifted and completely, and it kind of took me out of it. Maybe that was the point. There were words that I wish were elongated more, but that's just me, and it doesn't take away from her art or her decision. She did it in that way for a reason, and I absolutely love the bridge and how it transitioned into the slower beginning of the chorus. My favorite line, you come around and the armor falls. Most important line is, love is a ruthless game unless you play it good and right. I think that sums up the entire song, maybe album, honestly. 2. Red. The first thing I noticed was how it reminds me a lot of Love Story. The bridge was my absolute favorite part of the song, and I kept thinking of Halsey the entire time. I'm so sorry. Also, that last chorus was so good to me. One thing I've noticed is how she transitions from bridge to second to final chorus, and the after chorus is always good. She always ends with something that like she repeated, that she said already. Usually in the first verse, but yeah, I like that. What did I dislike? I didn't dislike anything in particular. It wasn't necessarily my favorite song, but that doesn't mean it's not a good song. It just felt repetitive to me after a while. But it's a song, so of course that can happen. But also know for a fact that it definitely will be stuck in my head, because it already is. Favorite line is, forgetting him was like trying to know somebody you never met. The most important line was, loving him is like driving a new Maserati down a dead-end street, faster than the wind, passion and a sin, ending so suddenly, because that's literally what it is. That literally is it. That's the song. It's fun, it feels good, but it's dangerous, and the thrill never lasts as long. Another option is regretting him is like wishing you never found out that love could be that strong. Okay, 3 treacherous. The bridge. Taylor Girl knows how to do a bridge. And I like it. I'm sorry, I had to because I love the bridge. That's my favorite part of a song. The bridge is my favorite part of the song. And at a time where people don't like to do them anymore, granted I know that this came out years ago, but I like to think that she still takes time with the bridge. Honestly, I was getting a tad bit bored, and that bridge woke me up. I loved it a lot, and that last chorus from bridge was great. Like I said, she does it so good at the end. She's really good at waking the song back up. She's really good at waking the song back up. If that makes sense. My favorite line, that nothing safe is where the drive is good. But something as simple as your name has echoed through my mind, and I just think you should know is everything. It's simple, it's relatable, and it's everything. It encompasses everything. And I have the most important line written down as this daydream is dangerous. Okay. 4. I knew you were trouble. I already knew. And I listened to the original a lot, like back in the day. Maybe it's the nostalgic factor that makes me like the original a bit more, which says everything. If you can make a song so good that I have trouble, no pun intended, but I have trouble hearing the new song by the same exact artist in that late, that's just, it speaks for talent. I think maybe there were more background vocals in the original. I could be wrong. It's been a while. Is the production a little lower or darker as well? No. Okay. 5. All Too Well. Since the first time I heard this song, I loved it, and I can go on and on about that. I still haven't seen the video though. This song always makes me cry. I'm not sure why. It's not a sad cry. Why? Because it's not a sad cry. It's like a relieving cry almost. There's nothing I dislike about this song. There's nothing I could dislike about the song. My favorite line, trying to narrow down my favorite line or the most important line is difficult. I don't know if I can do it. But if I had to try to, you almost ran the red because you were looking over at me, just hits me in the heart. Like, it hits, like I feel it, I understand it, and I think that's where I start crying every time. I also have written, we're dancing in the kitchen. Oh, I can't read my own handwriting. We're dancing around in the kitchen, in the refrigerator light. I think that's what I wrote. That's another one that I love because it's just so descriptive. I can see it, you can see it, and I've been there, and it's absolutely heartbreaking seeing your past and how incredibly full of love it was, and then everything just going away. It's hard to understand, and it's sad to think back on. Remembering it is so hard, but you don't want to let go of it. It's hard to forget. It's hard to want to forget. Most important, you taught me about your past thinking your future was me. And I'm questioning that one because it's like, did he actually, or were you hoping that? Also, I have a random question. I keep taking note that I like her pronunciation of things, and I'm like, is she doing that to fit the song better, or is that her Pennsylvania peeking out? Okay. 6. 22. The reason I wanted to create this to begin with and cover this album, I wanted to know if I would relate to this so much more at 22 than I did when it came out. I was like in middle school. But I do. And I'm afraid to say that I definitely do. That fall in love with the stranger line, yeah, I felt that. I'm feeling that so right now. Like, to the point where I'm like, do I want to contact this man, or was that a one-night thing only because he's been in my dreams, and I'm like, are you doing magic on, like, okay, I'm just gonna move on. My favorite line, you look like bad news, I gotta have you. Also, girly pop, I understand. Girly pop, I understand. I understand so, but I think at this point we're just hurting ourselves by going for the guy we already know. Looks like he's trouble. Okay. 7. I Almost Do. This took me back to like old Taylor. It reminded me of 2009. I thought of Butterfly Fly Away by Miley and Billy Ray Cyrus. And this is all without having heard the lyrics. And I love the way she sings the lyrics. I quite like this song. I saved it to my playlist. My favorite line is, I just want to tell you, it takes everything in me not to call you. The most important line, I bet it never ever occurred to you that I can't say hello to you and risk another goodbye. Am I? Oh my gosh, I just realized the camera's right here and I've been looking at this camera. Okay. Okay. Anyway. 8, We're Never Ever Getting Back Together. Another one I knew, obviously. The production isn't as loud on Taylor's version. I'm like, it's not purposeful, like to go with her maturity, that because it's Taylor's version and she's taking back herself, she doesn't have to sing it so loudly. She's more chill about it because she doesn't care. She doesn't have to try to convince herself. I'm talking out of my arse. I know it makes sense. I'm talking out of my ass, but I know it makes sense. Favorite line with some indie record that's much cooler than mine. Actually, I'm going to say this is the most important line too, because it shows how much she values him and herself. And what does she listen to? 9, Stay, Stay, Stay. You can't tell me that the very first bit of sound does not sound like it's from the Liv and Maddie theme song, because it does. Go listen to it right now and tell me it doesn't. Also, this was an instant like. It's just so fun. There's nothing else to say about it. Fave line. Fave. This morning, I said we should talk about it because I read you should never leave a fight unresolved. Most important, before you, I only dated self-indulgent takers who took all of their problems out on me. But you carry my groceries and now I'm always laughing. It makes me giggle and hurt at the same time because there's so much more to being in a good relationship than that, and I think she knew that, but wanted to see the good anyway. Am I projecting? 10. The Last Time with Gary Lightbody. He's got a beautiful voice and their harmonies were beautiful. I could get married to that. But not the whole song, because that's obviously cursing in marriage, but this song, as heartbreaking as it is, it's so damn beautiful. Another saved song. Like, I can't narrow down a favorite line or most important because I was honestly more attached to their vocals. The back and forth and their contrast was what pulled me in. The lyrics are great, but it's their voices that I like and I paid the most attention to, honestly. Holy Ground. I don't really remember the song. I just have that my favorite line was, we had this big wide city all to ourselves. And most important was, and for the first time, I had something to lose. Which, great lines, man. Oh, actually I do have something written. It was a good song. There was nothing crazy to me about it. Would I go back to it? Maybe. I definitely can't say that I won't, but after the last time, it was a bit understating to me. And the story's got dust on every page. It's also a really beautiful line to me. Maybe this was just me, but the second half of the song felt like a different song, and I really liked that. I much prefer that. I don't remember, I'm sorry. Sad, Beautiful, Tragic. What was that at the beginning? It almost sounded like church bells, but not, or like a train in the distance. I can't figure it out. Someone please tell me if they know. They have the most important line in my opinion. Words, how little they mean when you're a little too late. I don't have to explain that. At first I wondered if I disagreed with it, actually, but I still wonder. This This weirdly reminds me of Heart Like Yours from Willamette Stone, which is a fictional band, if you don't know, but pretty damn good. That and Imperfect from For You from Ariana. This is like the perfect blend of those songs, in my opinion. But this song is like effing sad. we both wake in lonely beds in different cities. I mean, come on. I added it to my crying playlist. I actually had to pause listening to it because I was starting to get really emotional. And I'm wondering if those were train alarms because she mentioned tracks a couple of times. Okay, 13, the lucky one. I do know that 13 is her lucky number, so the irony is not lost on me. Also, I got a piece of cake for Taylor's birthday. I don't know how old she is, but I wanted to make an olive oil cake for a long time, so there's a reason. I loved the song instantly. It just felt light, and even though the lyrics are quite sad, it made me feel hopeful in a weird way. The most important line would either be, "You had it figured out since you were in school," or "Can you tell me now you're the lucky one?" But can you tell me now you're the lucky one? I think that goes without saying, the regret. My favorite line, however, is, "Now it's big black cards, and maybe I refuse, and your lover in the foyer doesn't even know you." Being one of the best descriptive writers and storytellers, she can say so much with so little. Like, the chorus is the prime example. That simple twist of, "But can you tell me now you're the lucky one?" It makes such a huge difference in the story, and I just love it. I don't know why. I like it so much because it's quite heartbreaking. And then Taylor telling her that she's now in agreement and this woman is the lucky one for getting out. And also, I'm not sure if there are other rose gardens in the country or world, but did this woman move to Oregon? Because I instantly thought of the Portland Rose Garden and how that's a small arena in comparison to Madison Square. Okay, Everything Has Changed, Ed Sheeran. I remember hearing the song in a film. It was everywhere. Like, it was a song for a movie in the trailer. I genuinely can't remember. But I think it's amazing how certain artists may have re-recorded lines for her. I think that's very kind. My favorite line is, "I just want to know you better," because I feel like that is just a prime example of the beginning of the possibilities of love. I will say that when I was younger, I thought this was a heartbreak song. I thought it meant that the love spoken of was never the same in a negative way. And listening to it now, I think that might not be the case. Most important, and I feel in my stomach, and all I feel in my stomach is butterflies, the beautiful kind. I also love All My Days, I'll Know Your Face. I just think it's so romantic. Okay, Starlight. I don't know who Bobby is, but hearing Bobby in the same sentence as 1945 makes me think of Bobby Kennedy. I'm a little bit obsessed with the Kennedys. I mean, look. Can you see? Can you see? Yeah. And if I show you my bookshelf, you will be disappointed in me. Literally in 8th grade, a friend gave me like 20 books from, I think, his grandmother and grandfather about the Kennedys. Anyway, sorry. I just went on a tangent. I don't know if I would go back to the song. I mean, if it were on, I would listen because she has this gift of making me feel nostalgic. And granted, these are re-recordings of her songs, but I felt that way when I listened to her songs when they came out, so I wonder if that's just her thing. I wouldn't know because I need to listen to more, but I just haven't the time. But it is a cute song. I would definitely kiss a boy on the beach to this. I can see it playing in the montage of a cute film. I love the way the production changed from the chorus to the second verse. That was so minor, but it did a lot for me. My favorite line I keep wanting to go back to was, "It was the best night, never would forget how we moved," but more specifically, it was a marvelous tune, and the whole place was just so nice. It keeps popping back in my head. Actually, when I think about it, I remember a lot, and the second verse is really a favorite for me. I just lied. I might go back to the song. "You'll spend your whole life singing the blues if you keep thinking that way." Hello? That might be the most important line. Also, 10 kids is crazy, but I understand. I used to say that I wanted 7 until I realized that I would have to do all that. No. Okay. 16, Begin Again. Does this song go hand in hand with I Almost Do? Listen to the songs and tell me. I can't verbally express why I think it does, but the gears in my head are going. Most important line, I don't like to just keep picking lines from the chorus, but on a Wednesday in a cafe, I watched it begin again. that can go for so many things, not just the good probability of love, but the scaredness, aka the fear, the scarcity, the hoping, the longing. I also realized that she looks back on her old relationships and compares current partners to the old a bit, and I think that's normal and necessary to grow, but at a certain point I start to wonder if it's healthy. The moment I knew. I do like the production, but I don't think at this moment that this was a song for me. I cry at the line standing there in my party dress with red lipstick and no one to impress. That is heartbreaking, but I also take from it that we need to stop relying on a man to make us happy, because this is so disappointing. And when the one who means the most to you doesn't show, that should tell you everything you know. 18, come back, be here. Actually, I was gonna say based on production that I didn't think I would really listen to the song again, just from the first initial hearing, but that first verse, those lyrics grabbed me completely. Actually, I don't know if I can pick a favorite line, because I love that first verse entirely too much. Those lyrics saved the song for me completely. I was going to say that the most important line was, I can't help but wish you took me with you, but I actually think it's, I know you're in insert city name here today. I guess you're in insert city name here today. I feel like that explains it all. Like, I can hear the signs and the longing. I can hear, I can hear the sighs and the longing and the tiredness in that sentence. I really do like that song. I really do like that song, but the lyrics are what I'm going back for specifically. Girl at home, and it would be a fine proposition if I was a stupid girl. That's all I got to say about that. Let's move on. This song is 20th State of Grace acoustic. I've always liked this song. I feel like the chords played during the chorus is actually what I was missing from the original. It made the chorus feel fuller to me, and I really like that. It has a different energy completely, but again, I love the song, so this will be saved too. Ronan. I immediately thought that this must be about someone important, as there is an actual name in the title, and I wasn't sure if it was a romantic or platonic relationship by the first verse, which I think is great because it can be understood by anyone, but the rest of the song broke me, and I actually nearly turned it off because I wasn't sure if I was in place mentally to listen to it, but I needed to. It was beautiful. It made me very emotional, and I still take notice of the trend that Taylor does, where she repeats something from the first verse at the end. But yeah, beautifully touching. I need to move on or I will start crying. Rest in peace to whoever this was inspired by. Better Man, From the Vault. I think all the rest are from the vault at this point. First, I questioned why this or any of the vault songs were in the vault. Were they too personal? Not enough space in the album? What is the lore behind that? With that being said, I literally stopped the song after hearing, and I see the permanent damage she did to me. And then she goes on to say, never again, I just wish I could forget when it was magic. And I can't recall which song previously on this album that she said something about forgetting. Was it All Too Well? I don't know. And my favorite line is her acknowledging that she was brave to leave. I also really adored the chorus. This was saved. It's not a favorite like All Too Well. It's not a favorite like All Too Well, but I really did like the song. Also, how the hell does she have time to re-record all of these songs and her new albums and tour those albums, if she did, and go out to shows and parties, like, etc. Okay. Nothing new with Phoebe Bridgers. Now, I've never heard Phoebe Bridgers actually, and if it's from the vault, does that mean it was recorded initially at the same time of the original Red album? The microphone for this, in either track 18 or 19, it sounds a bit different, like a tiny bit clustered, and I really like that filter. The more the song progressed, the more I actually really liked it a lot. How can a person know everything at 18 and nothing at 22? I'll tell you how. Because you actually know nothing, but you think you know everything, and then at 22 you realize that you didn't know as much as you thought, and what you knew only worked for that younger part of your life. The concept is giving, will you still love me when I'm no longer young and beautiful? But like less about looks and more so definitely acknowledging her own flaws, but also, girly, don't be too hard on yourself. At 22, we are trying. Now, actually, fuck Taylor and fuck Phoebe and fuck whomever may have worked on the song, because it made me cry at 5 in the afternoon on a damn Thursday, and I didn't ask for that. The song was added. I also love how this is the 23rd track, because she's aging from 22, and I get it. Okay. 24, Babe. Don't laugh at me, but I instantly thought of Broken Promises. The production was a slap in the face after all that crying I did on Nothing New. Also reminded me of the guitar on Beautiful Soul. Like, not like a bad, like, the production was horrible, but it was just like, it was a jump scare for me. It, like, made me jump. After listening to Nothing New. But it also reminded me of the guitar in Beautiful Soul, and also did she re-record the songs from the vault as well. It was a cute song, but I understand why it might have been a vault track. Compared to the other songs, as much as I see me and my best friend as much as I see my best friend and I listening to this on a road trip with our boyfriend, it wasn't memorable. And that's okay, because it's better than Message in a Bottle. I wish I liked this song. I love the title of it and anything related to the sea, but it's not my favorite. So we're just going to go on to I Bet You Think of Me. When I saw featuring Chris Stapleton, I was very happy because I love Chris Stapleton, and now I understand how she had time to record all these songs. Because girl is always awake when she should be sleeping. 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. No, seriously, does she get enough rest? Her twang is giving country pumpkin, and it's so cute. That harmonica made me jump. Was that a harmonica or a bagpipe? I felt like the song went on for a very long time. But what broke my heart was reality creeping in and him saying that they were too different. I hated that because that is my worst fear when it comes to relationships. And who the hell is she talking about? I wish there were more Chris Stapleton. I wish there was more Chris Stapleton because I just love his voice so much. It's so beautiful and soulful, and I can go on about him. So I'm gonna go to 27. My 3 favorite numbers. Forever Winter, my favorite season. Off the jump, the most important line is, he says, why fall in love just so you can watch it go away. Not only because it reminds me of Jasmine Sullivan's Lions, Tigers, Bears, one of my favorite songs of all time, saying, why do we love when love seems to hate us? And at first I was going to be sarcastic. I was going to be sarcastic and say, but unlike Jasmine, she wanted to love and wasn't so negative. She had faith even though she wasn't sure. Then I realized this guy is depressed, and wow, I'm a bitch. I actually really like this song. Okay. Run, featuring Ed Sheeran. I wasn't sure about this song at first. I didn't think that I'd like it, but it actually hit a bit more than I thought. Also, shout out to Taylor for still having so much to say and not making 2-minute tracks. It's even hard being an artist who doesn't produce because it's so hard to find tracks that are longer than 2 minutes. Like, golly. Sorry, that was a huge tangent. I like the song. It was alright. I probably won't listen to it often, but I do think the production was incredible. My favorite line, based just on how she delivered it, was, and the note from the locket, you keep it in your pocket. That was very pleasing to my ear. 29. The Very First Night. I can't tell if this is my favorite line or the most important line. I can't tell if this is my favorite line or the most important line, but I drive down different roads, but they all lead back to you. I actually like this song a lot more than I thought I did now. No, my favorite line is, they weren't riding in the car when we both fell. I don't like the guitar that much, but I do really enjoy the song. That's all I can say about that. It was satisfying. You know what's satisfying? The sponsor. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have any sponsors yet. Even though I'm so clearly finna go dare. 30. All Too Well. 10-minute version. I think I reacted to the song, and I think it's still up, but I don't remember. It was very sad. My grandmother had just passed away, and I was going through issues with a guy. That time was a blur. But I still love the 10-minute version, just as I love the regular. I don't know which I listen to more. The ending is my favorite. Her repeating, I was there. If I'm listening to the regular version, I have to go listen to the 10-minute version just to hear that part. I wonder if the 10-minute version was always written and recorded, or if she had more to say with her grown-up haze. I really love I Kept You Like a Secret, and You Kept Me Like an Oath. No, it was the other way around, but I couldn't know. But the 10-minute version of All Too Well may definitely be my favorite, All Too Well. And that's that. So, did I enjoy this album? Yeah. Some songs felt like a chore to listen to, because I just wonder how effed up she felt in mine. Like, it was a lot, and it was a lot. It was a lot. And I can definitely understand how really going through something and listening to it at the time can help you, because it's like, oh, I'm not alone. But I really did like this album. Favorite songs, All Too Well, Stay Stay Stay, and what is that song with Toby Lightman? Oh, what is that song? What is that song? Someone tell me, what is that song? Why is no one telling me? Oh, The Last Time. I love those songs so much. I listen to them constantly. I would. I probably will. You know what's crazy? I've been building up to do this video for so long, and now I'm like, what do I do now? I don't know. Happy birthday, Taylor. Ooh, her birthday's on Friday the 13th this year. Should I text that guy?
Pardon my manners, I don't mean to come off